with the fellas Joe Musso, Jonathan Jones, Bryant McFadden, Ben DiNucci, as we process all that we were just handed from head coach Sean Payton. Again, a broken bone in the ankle suffered late in overtime for the starting quarterback Bo Nix. They will turn to Jarrett Stidham. We will come at this from every angle we know, but JJ, this is almost hard to find a parallel or a through line. I know there's certain instances of having to call upon a backup for the biggest game of the season in the playoffs, but to pull this fan base in this locker room from such euphoria to what they're feeling right now, how are you processing the news?
I mean, you just had a home overtime playoff victory against the best quarterback that remains on your side of the bracket. You have now confirmed that you are going to play the home AFC Championship game next Sunday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. It's the first AFC Championship game you've hosted in a decade when you went to Super Bowl 50 and ultimately won it. And you feel great about Bo Nix, who just helped you win that football game. And now, minutes later, I'm sure that there are people that are, still tailgating, that are enjoying the victory, right? A post-game party and learning about this. It is incredibly deflating. And there aren't that many examples that I can pull from. Remember a couple years ago, Brock Purdy against the Philadelphia Eagles. He's playing in that game. He winds up tearing his UCL, and there's a Josh Johnson that's in the mix there. That's the most recent one I can think of, but of course that happened in the championship game. You go back to 2007, Phillip Rivers tearing his ACL in the divisional round, but then playing on it in the conference championship game against New England, something that has never really been heard of and never been duplicated since. But this is clearly something that Bo Nix cannot play on. That does require surgery. And as Sean Payton said, he's dealt with this before. And whatever the timeline on recovery, he would not be able to recover quickly enough to even play in the Super Bowl.
Again, surgery coming Tuesday for Bo Nix, and this puts a halt to, these legacy-defining drives, not just in games, Mac, but in seasons. When you look at what this robs Bo Nix of, it's just another representation that the game isn't fair to us sometimes.
I mean, that's how it is in the National Football League, unfortunately. When we play the game, we know what we're signing up for, and some things you can't control. And unfortunately for Bo Nix in this situation, this was out of his control. And hearing the news now, it almost feels like the Broncos actually lost. It's deflating.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
A very, very emotional game, entertaining game, the ebbs and the flows, and they found a way to win on the heels of their young second-year quarterback and now getting the news that he is done. There's no probable or questionable. He is done. So it's going to be a very, very difficult task for Sean Payton to keep the morale together for the teams. And I really appreciate and I love that Sean Payton addressed this right now. Because with them playing on Saturday, you got enough time to kind of allow everything to soak in before you get back inside the building on Monday. Waiting until Monday, I think it would have did more harm than good. So getting this out now, getting in front of it now was very, very professional and smart of him. Yep. And now allowing the team to digest, not to mention the backup quarterback in Jarrett Stidham. Yeah. Now he understands and he knows when he goes into the building on Monday, he's operating as QB1. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if he entered the building tomorrow to get it earlier.
That's right. Now. He's probably driving to the facility right now.
No question, because you don't know who you're playing, but you have the ability to start prepping for either team, in the Patriots or the Houston Texans.
I'm glad you bring that up because, Ben, you are familiar with what that task requires. Maybe not in an AFC championship game type stage, but Jarrett Stidham is one of two backup quarterbacks that didn't attempt a pass this year. The LA Rams and the Broncos are the only two teams in the NFL whose starter threw every single pass this season. Stidham is set for his first start since 2023, and man, you can't think of a higher leverage situation other than the game to be played beyond it in a Super Bowl, and maybe by a stroke of luck and a heck of a defense, he finds himself there. You're familiar with the role and the individual. How does Jarrett Stidham meet this moment?
This is next man up mentality to a T. And for Jarrett Stidham, there's a reason he signed back with the Denver Broncos in the offseason. A chance to play, a chance to mean something for this team if something, God forbid, happened to Bo Nix, which unfortunately it did tonight. But for Jarrett Stidham, look, the week of practice is going to be different. The week of prep is going to be different. You go from getting scout team reps to getting every rep during practice. The mindset is going to change. Now, preparation shouldn't change too much for him. He should have been, preparing as if he was the guy for the last 5 or 6 months regardless. But for him, this is an unbelievable opportunity. He was drafted by the Patriots in 2019. If this thing shakes out the way it's supposed to, or not the way it's supposed to, but if the Patriots go and handle business tomorrow, Jarrett Stidham's got a chance to do something really, really cool against a team who drafted him a number of years ago. But for him, there's certainly probably a lot of thoughts running through his mind right now. But if you're him, you can't ask for a better opportunity and a better stage to kind of introduce yourself to a national audience in a league that, you know, doesn't know much about you.
I'm not saying this is a critique of Jarrett Stidham, but we remember the last time the Broncos found themselves in this sort of an opportunity. It was a less than Peyton Manning orchestrating that offense, and they still put a game plan together and find a way to get it done all the way and get their hands on that Lombardi. I'm having a hard time processing this moment for Bo Nix. And we heard head coach Sean Payton say he's a man of God. He has faith that everything happens for a reason. But when you look at the way he excelled and the way he climbed in the minds of many, you know, Bo Nix has had a high belief in himself from the second he stepped on a football field, but he opened eyes this season. For it to end this way and not have an opportunity to open even more eyes, it does feel like Nix is being robbed of maybe a career-defining moment.
It is, because playing in the National Football League, it's hard to get to this moment where you're playing in a conference championship game. It's hard.
You say, don't take him for granted.
Don't take
Not
him for
rookie
granted.
year when you made it and you said, it felt like this is what football is.
Yes, yes. I was fortunate. We got to that level my rookie year. That's all I knew. We got to the Super Bowl my rookie year. We won it my rookie year. I thought I was supposed to go every year. I thought that was the norm. Play, playoffs, conference championship game, Super Bowl, repeat, right? But then as I got older, I realized how hard it is to get to that level. When I had conversations with players from other organizations they were not as fortunate as I was. So for Bo Nix to understand and know, he did everything that he was supposed to do. This wasn't anything on Bo Nix. It was just the way the ball bounced. And now he can't finish the deal. He can't finish the drill. This team will not look the same in 2026. It will be a different team. You know what I mean? So when you get to this moment, it's like seize it. Think about how many great quarterbacks we've seen that didn't get a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? And he has a legit chance, and they still have a chance as a team. Right? We know they still have a chance.
We've seen Nick Foles beat Tom Brady in a Super Bowl when the quarterback who got paid went down.
We saw Tom Brady fill in for Drew Bledsoe as a backup. We saw Jeff Hostetler fill in for Phil Simms as a backup and win a Super Bowl. We've seen it before, but it's hard. It's hard. And the thing is, with those guys, they filled in the regular season. Nick Foles.
That's right.
Carson, right? Tom, Drew, right? I can't remember exactly when Jeff Hostetler filled in for Phil Simms, but they filled in a time where you had room for error.
Yeah.
Where for Jarrett Stidham, if you mess this up, season is over.
Yep.
I know, but one thing Mike Tomlin used to tell us all the time. In the NFL, they applaud your problems. Nobody cares about your problems. There is sympathy. They feel some type of way, right? Oh, that's tough. But let's go.
New England and Houston?
Yeah, either one of those teams,
They're saying,
who we get, let's go. That's the life of the NFL.
I'll say this, and there's a reason that Sean Payton named Jarrett Stidham the starter immediately, right? As soon as he gets this news. I know there's a lot of folks who are wondering, can't they go out there and get somebody, right? Oh, is it going to be Jarrett Stidham, who hasn't thrown a pass in however many years? First of all, we're past the trade deadline.
Yep.
So you can't go trade for anyone. They did away with, there was a COVID rule back where you could sign somebody off another team's practice squad whose season had ended. They did away with that rule. Remember, there were a couple of guys who actually wound up playing for 2 playoff teams during the COVID years with those rules.